Okay. Okay, I just said to Sarah, don't get mad at me, but we took a little break. She goes, okay, back from the trampoline break because she was with her daughter. A little self-care, a little fitness in there, and definitely fun with her daughter. And that
And
leads,
it's what we're talking about today, right? Don't overlook family. And so when you're working from home like we do, you have to take those little breaks to go jump on the trampoline. And actually, I feel much better for it.
oh yeah, or like when I go pet my cat and like I'm in between clients, and then meow, I hear my little cat as I'm going to get another cup of coffee or something. It's like, oh, and just petting that cat. Or if my husband's home, usually he's not home during the day when I'm working, but if he's home and I'm working on a Saturday or something, a hug in the kitchen. All that is so important. Why? Well, it's important in life. I mean, why are we living? But also, you look all refreshed and renewed coming back
Yeah,
from jumping on the trampoline and probably spending time with your daughter.
a little bit wild, right? But that's okay.
That is absolutely okay. So, again, it's a shorter topic today, but it's huge. It's twofold as I see it. One is fitness, exercise. Fitness and exercise are not the exact same thing. Exercise folds into fitness. Eating, healthy eating. And what does healthy mean to you? And what does healthy eating mean to you? Because a lot of people say, I just want to eat healthy, and that's different for everybody. And self care are all important to be successful with work, with career, with relationships, with your family, and your financial success. And your family is also very important to your career and your job and your work and your financial success. And then the other part is not only does it feed into your success financially, how you handle your finances, your financial mindset, your money mindset that we talk about, not only does it feed into that, you can afford to take the time for the fitness, the eating, the shopping, right? The exercise and the self care and the family.
Yeah.
You can afford it monetarily and you can afford the time. And a lot of people think time is money. Yes. At the same time, they feed into each other. It's a cycle. So, if you don't mind, Sarah, I'm going to go really quickly first and then I'll throw it to you.
Sure, absolutely. Go for it.
Just because when I thought of this, most of my clients come in through LinkedIn or they saw me on a webinar or they heard me on a podcast and they come in. So let's say it's LinkedIn or a podcast. These are usually people who want to talk about career transition, career growth. They're going out to be solopreneurs. We used to say self-employed, whatever it is. And a lot of midlifers. I have taken a handful of people, men and women, more than a handful now, I think about a dozen since 2020 through career transition, which inevitably is a life transition. It impacts if they have a family or it impacts their extended family, it impacts their whole lifestyle, how they date or whatever, it impacts their health, it impacts everything. Everything's a subset of each other. My point is when they have come to me to talk about, I want to change jobs, I want a totally new career, or I want to grow at my company, whatever it is, or they bring me in to work with their team, we inevitably always start talking about and covering other areas of their life. And that includes their health and their well-being. And there's a reason why more companies and corporations are hiring coaches to go in for the corporate wellness, the corporate well-being, because it helps their employees. It's not just like Google who brings in ping pong tables and let's go play. It's more than that. If there's a good corporate culture and their employees, their staff, their team have good or has good self-care habits within the workplace and outside of it and good health habits and well-being, they're more productive, they're more
Mhm.
creative, they're more alive, they're living out their passion at work. If that's not the end goal for them to end up in that company, at least they bring in their passion into their work at the time if it's just a stop for them. So there's
Yeah.
more productivity, more creativity, more money, more safety, more security. And in these financial questionable wobbly times, you really want to make sure that people feel okay and they feel secure.
Yeah.
And if you're a solopreneur, you have a job, it's very important to take care of all these areas. And
Yeah.
you can build if you think, but I don't have the time. I'm so tired at night. I've had a long day. What are you talking about habits for? That's just it. If you watched video 1 and 2, and I hope you did, you'll see that habits are second nature. They become who you are, what you are. It's what you value and what you end up valuing. So first you set your mind to what fulfills me? What do I want end goal? And you align it with what you value. Your habits, you choose to create a new habit, a new financial habit, according to what you value. And we always choose what you will do tiny, 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 one step at a time that progresses into a habit. So it's no longer like, I don't have time, I'm tired. You can do self care in 1 minute, literally. An example is EFT. You don't have to do 20 minutes of journaling or a half hour meditation. If you can, great. That's a ritual, that's part of your routine. But if you can do one little thing that that really helps you set yourself. If it's just 1 minute of breath work, 1 minute of play with your child in between breaks, whatever it is, a text to your loved one, hey, sexy, whatever it is, if you bring in the fun and you remember your family, if you make it a habit, it really makes a difference. And I'm talking about, I have learned this by working with those people that came to me to talk about my corporate clients, to talk about their teams and their work and their
Mhm.
career transition.
Yeah.
So it's really important that you remember, well, you can look this up. I'm giving you information. Information is not incorporating it. What I help people with is take all this information that you can look up online and that you hear on the talk shows. It's okay, how do you get started? And that's why we started this START. You start by one tiny action toward that goal.
Yeah.
Because regular exercise and a nutritious diet, we look at what you consider nutritious and contribute to the overall health. And that reduces the likelihood, again, of costly, again, money, medical expenses.
Yeah.
Prevention saves you money.
Yeah.
Prevention saves you from thinking maybe you're not in this boat. But so many Americans that you would think they're okay, they're working, they're pretty safe, they're middle class, upper middle class, if that even exists anymore, that's another topic. Or they've got money. They don't call right away the ambulance because they think, how much is that going to cost? Or they don't go to the emergency room because how much is that going to cost? Or they think of their health insurance. Oh my God, is that going to be covered? That's stressful. So as much as you can do to prevent illness and disease, if you get it, you get it. But as much as you can do to save in case you need it, great. And as much as you can do to prevent what you can prevent, like diabetes 2, like obesity, like hypertension, like high cholesterol, anything you can do will save you money if you want to look at it that way. And that's what I help people with is fitness habits, eating habits. What are you in the habit of eating? How much you're in the habit of eating? And how are you in the habit of eating? Do you eat in the car? Do you eat standing up? Do you eat watching TV mindlessly? I help people with that. All that helps your finances. And I'll leave you with this and I'll toss it over to Sarah. Years ago, I believe it was 2020 or 2021, I'd have to look it up. There was an article in Forbes that profiled the highest powered female CEOs. So I clicked on it. And then I went down the rabbit hole as I do. I wanted to look up all the CEOs. And it was interesting that this one article about the women talked about how each one of them, no matter what, worked out every day. Work out whatever it meant to them. Some of them got up at 6, some of them had a treadmill in the office, some of them did a little walking during lunch, whatever it was, but they all incorporated exercise because it cleared their minds, cleared their brain, they felt more empowered. And that vibe just exudes to the whole company, exudes how they perform. These are the highest power of the C-suite. So it has to be related. And that's what I help people with. Form one tiny little thing that you can do, that you can form into your routine. You look at your schedule and we see what you can do, not what I tell you to do. Sarah, what were you thinking?
Well, I'm thinking about some of my own story. And when we first met, you were like, oh, you have values of faith, family, finance, fitness, and fun. I love fitness. You're talking about health and fitness. And in my mind, like my fitness F was really more like eating healthy. And I had allowed myself to get busy to a point where I really was not doing a whole lot in terms of moving and of physical exercise. And so Ronnie is not kidding when she says she helps you to start simple habits because she plants that seed in your mind and that you feel like you start to own it. Like I found myself thinking, yeah, she's right. Like I need to be moving more. This is not okay. My body is hurting. I'm sitting too much. I'm in front of my computer too much. that can affect your mind in terms of even sometimes it slows down and you feel that brain fog. And so I've started to build a habit again. Like I used to walk a ton. My life used to be a lot of walking, a lot of movement. When I was working, I worked at a nonprofit and I was like a 30-minute walk from my house to the nonprofit. And I would do it regularly simply for the sake of moving. Well, now I work from home. And that habit had disappeared on me. I wasn't walking when my master's, I'd walk to school a lot just for the sake of moving and getting exercise and same with work. And so like I don't have anywhere to walk necessarily. I'm not moving as much and I could feel it. And so I've started that habit again of each morning getting up and walking. And the other day,
Hey,
okay, and that's a large part because of you. And so then the other day I was sitting down or getting up slightly late. I'd gone to bed slightly late, getting up slightly late. My daughter had woken me up multiple times during the night, and then she got up early. I'm like, but I have to walk. And so I've got a value for family and now this habit that's starting to feel weird if I do it. I took her with me. And on that walk, I like to feed into my faith and start my day by listening to the Bible. And so I'm listening to that to build myself up with something that's pure and lovely and encouraging. Well, her ears are too little for my ear pods. And so she couldn't fit in her ears. It's too noisy outside. So I put on something loud, just worship, Christian worship music for us to both listen to. So now we're singing together while we're walking down the street. I'm getting my exercise in. I'm spending time with my daughter and I'm building our faith. Three things at once because of this little habit. And so thank you, Ronnie, for inspiring me to re-dive into this walking habit. I'm starting to take a walk like usually twice a day and sometimes 3 times a day now. And it's great.
and a lot of people, I was working with this one lady I met on LinkedIn. She just didn't drink water. I'm like, okay, what will you do? You find what works for you. I'm like, okay, I know that I was a personal trainer. I am a certified personal trainer. I shouldn't say this. I've got my certs in nutrition. I I always remind people during a workout or if I give a class, okay, maybe take a little water, blah, blah, blah. As we're during class, I'd say it like 2 or 3 times. I prompt them. Do I drink water? I don't like flat water. And I especially don't like flat water with a meal. I don't know why. But I got in the habit of every morning before any coffee, before any tea that has tetain, which is really like caffeine, I drink an herbal tea. Why? That's water. And I happen to eat a lot of fruits and veggies. I love my fruits. Oh my gosh, that's packed with water. 80% of a banana is water. So you can find what will work, is what I'm saying. And
Yes.
I like the herbal tea. But I have another lady who at night, she's like, she doesn't have time for a ritual. So she stretches, like, okay, I can stretch. And now she does it in the morning as well, like a cat, like get up, quick stretch, done. It literally took 2 seconds. So you can find what will work for you that start you not in how long you do something, but that you do it at the same time in the same context. Just like Sarah, it would be, she said it would be weird if she didn't.
Yeah, that's really good. And then I have a story. It's not my story, but one of my colleagues a couple of years ago was working with a couple where she was overweight and he was not spending time at home. When they had a lot of financial issues, they were tight month to month. They didn't have emergency fund that they were happy with. They weren't hitting their long-term savings goal. And as he was sitting and talking to them and watching their disconnect, he realized, you know what, your homework actually is to spend a night out, a date night with each other every single week and to get to know each other again. His financial homework for them.
Yeah.
And they did. And they started to spend time together. And then she realized that she was overeating and ordering a lot of the home delivery food to compensate for not feeling loved by her husband. And he was and nagging him now because he's working and gone, he's working and gone more because he doesn't like being nagged. And they started to appreciate each other and they started to listen to each other. And in the date nights, they started to get to know each other well. And then as a result, she wasn't buying this take home, delivery food nearly as much. She wasn't eating as much. She lost a ton of weight. She becomes attractive. She likes herself again. And she's not nagging him as much because she's getting the attention from him that she needs and they're spending time together. And so as they're spending time together, like he's working less. Now they have extra money at the end of every month, and their savings account gets into a healthy place, and they start to put away money in towards their retirement savings as well. And my colleague happened to randomly run into them months, like 6, 8 months later, and he didn't hardly even recognize them. They were so different. And they came up and they said, "Do you remember me? You told us 6 months ago to start doing weekly date nights, that ritual. And we've done it, and this is where we're at, and this is where our finances are at."
And it didn't take years of therapy, not knocking couples therapy at all. I think it's great. But it didn't take years of therapy. It took one thing to trigger it all because she was nagging him. Really, she was lashing out at herself. She was so irritated and frustrated that she would lash out at him. And that's what I mean by each aspect of your life is a subset of the other. Each one impacts the other. Your career impacts your family, impacts your relationship, impacts your spirituality, impacts your self-care, impacts your finances, all of it.
Yeah.
So it's really important. And Sarah and I are here to talk about not just financial habits, but also how you can incorporate, how you can budget in time and money. Like let's say you can't afford a gym, or let's say you can. Whatever it is that whatever the situation is for you that you want to address, how can I incorporate play? That's a behavior. Or how can I pay for it? That kind of thing. We're here to talk to you. So I really encourage you to get on a call with us and tell us your exact situation or question or fear or problem or issue. Because everything has an answer and everything is doable. And that's what we're about. Let's find out first what's really the problem. Like her problem wasn't that she was eating too much. You might say, yeah, it was. No, her problem was deeper than that. And
Yeah.
just one little thing helped her. We're not saying everybody has to go on date night. That'll make your life perfect forever. That's not the prescription for everyone for everything. What we're saying is that one thing helped them. Now we can help you find out what is really your problem and what is your fear or what is your doubt or what is it that you want to work on. And then we can find out what is doable to start taking those steps, start building the habitual actions that will take you in that direction.
And you absolutely want to hop on to the next episode because it's going to take it one level deeper. And we're going to be looking at aligning your money habits and your habits with your core values.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I know everybody thinks, well, these are my values. It goes beyond that. It's
Mhm.
truly, what do you really value? You know what you value and you know what
Exactly.
you don't find valuable. And you do a lot of things in life. We all do that because we have to, they're required, of course. So you value, there's a reason you do them because you value your job or you value your family or your, but when you're not aligned with something and you don't value it, you don't put as much into it. You really don't. So it's important to find out what it is you value, and that affects how you invest and how you save your money and how you use it. So
Mhm.
thank you so much for your time. Sarah, is there anything else? If not, you can sign off.
That's it. So thank you again. We look forward to seeing you here soon. And please leave some comments, messages, and questions, and we'll answer those.
And if you haven't taken the assessment, Sarah can still get that to you. It's a financial self-assessment quiz.
Yep. Along with those principles, those rules of money.
See you on the next one.
Bye.
Okay. Yay.